Good seeing Coach Benson. Good seeing everybody. Stuck me behind that pillar over there. They didn't like my shirt. Robert Sullivan, Principal Sullivan, could you come forward once more? This group that's followed you make you sound like you're tongue-tied, so let her rip. Got a lot of history here tonight. We want to hear all about it. We got the room rented till 10 o'clock.
I'm sorry I set the tone. It's an honor and a privilege to have the opportunity as a coach to recognize your former players. My background was in basketball with boys. I had the opportunity to coach the Reno High School girls in 89, 90, and 91. This individual had 3 different coaches. In her freshman year, she had Coach Fuji, who is in our Hall of Fame, and they won a championship, state championship. In her sophomore year, they had Carla Bennett. She won a state championship. In her junior year, she had me, and we sucked. In her senior year, she had me, and we lost 5 games. 1 to the eventual champion in Oregon, which was an outstanding team, and 4 stinking times to Carson High School. So I'm not so sure that I should be the one here introducing the list tonight. A little bit, as you have read in there, but pretty impressive. A 4-year letterman at Reno High School, letter recipient, I have to be politically correct, in 2011. In basketball, volleyball, and 1 year, I think it was her freshman year, she ran track. I don't know why. Melissa was recognized for outstanding athletic abilities by being named to a number of the all-conference and all-state teams. A lot of that is different today as what it was in the 80s and early 90s when she played. In 87, 88, she was an all-conference player in volleyball. In 89 and 90, 88 and 89, she was all-conference in volleyball, and she was all-conference and all-state in basketball. In 89 and 90, she was all-conference in volleyball, all-conference and all-state in basketball, and due to her athletic abilities in both of these sports, she was named the outstanding female athlete in the state of Nevada by the USA Today newspaper, so which distinguished her above all of the other female athletes in the state during that year.
Bravo!
Absolutely. After graduating from Reno High School, she went on and excelled at the junior college level, and as you'll see in her bio, she was all league, all conference, all world in California. They even retired her jersey, which was one of the things when I was coaching. They all talked about retiring jerseys, and it was my feeling that you never retire a jersey because nobody in the hell is that important. Since our relationship now. It was very difficult in that first year taking the young ladies because, again, I only knew how guys were and so on, and I was fortunate to have another lady help me as an assistant coach because I needed a lot of help in regards to that side. One of the first things that I remember, and again, I won't get in trouble because of Coach, you had tequila. Like the first time, I used to say, please let me know when you guys are dressed so I can come in and talk to you. So Melissa was the first one who goes, yeah, Coach, come on in. So I head in the door. Here they are, half dressed. And as you can hear this laugh right here, that's what we heard the whole time. So instead of preparing for the game, I had to say, you understand I can get fired here. The You're asking me to come in and you're half dressed and all of this. So as we went on, it was difficult at some times to understand the young ladies and for them to understand me. In Melissa's senior year, along with her teammates, we grew from my first year to the second year. I started to understand them. I think they understood me. One of the things that probably was an absolute hardest thing I had to get used to was no matter what happened, what you said to her, and you will see it when she is introduced here, she would smile. I mean, you would say something to her, not always in a good term or whatever it might be, and she just smiled at you. So a lot of times that just pissed you off. Because here you are trying to correct something or telling her that she could be better than what she was, yet she was smiling at you. So it took me some time to understand all about that smile, and there's so much about this young lady that, again, from her athleticism and so on, but again, as you will see, the smile is what makes her special above a lot of young people that I have had the opportunity to work with. She was a quiet leader. Her work ethic, unbelievable. I don't know that I've had any other athletes that I had had the ability or the opportunity to coach that were able to do that. And the other thing was her warmth of personality. In those 5 games or 4 games that we played against the Carson Senators in her senior year, we were playing the Russians. They had they were center forward or whatever that they chose to call them there. Both of them were 6'5". So as we played them, I said, ladies, we're playing the frickin' Russians and not the Carson City Senators. And Melissa, on opposite her, was a young lady named Kristen Nelson, who was like Pat Alberti, 5'1", 106 pounds, that the two of them had to take the Russians on for those 4 games. And I couldn't be any prouder of how they competed with them. And I think the one thing that I learned, and I'll be short here, I'm sorry, you're not. Am I doing okay? But your head was going like that. The one thing that was very difficult that you learned in girls basketball is girls didn't jump. So when they were 6'5" and they raised their hands up, they were 7'2", and the Reno girls would try as hard as they could to block them out and do the best that they could to keep the monsters off the glass or get the easy putbacks. And Melissa was one that took care of the key. To be honest with you, they were very, very good players, but in the times that they did play us, they didn't want any part of coming inside, because not only does she have a great smile and a warmth of personality and whatever, she was very tough and very mean. And I appreciated that aspect of it, because the big Russians didn't ever want to come inside. But as you will see, a better person you will not find. And as I coached a lot of kids, and it's great to win championships and for them to have the accolades and whatever, but as I get old and move on, it's a great feeling. And the greatest feeling that you have, they are better people than they ever were as an athlete. And it is my honor to present to you the Hall of Fame inductee for Reno High School's class of 2010, Melissa Batchel.
I just want to be quick. Thank you so much for this, the committee, everything. This is an incredibly beautiful event. I want to thank my parents for never missing a game. My brother as well. They both served, but I want to say 85 years teaching in this community as well. They gave so much to us. And I just want to thank you for this. This is a great honor. Thanks for my friends to come. Thank you.
banquet was worth coming to see Melissa. On the flip side of the coin, the couple of international Twinkie eating champions, first George Oakes will introduce the next inductee.